Juno spacecraft near Jupiter to probe 3i Atlas when it passes close to Jupiter in the middle of March 2026. And she wrote a letter to the Transportation Secretary, Sean Duffy, who is currently the head of NASA, interim administrator of NASA. And
Something ancient is racing through our skies. It's older than the sun, stranger than any comet we've ever tracked, and it's rewriting what we thought we knew about the cosmos. 3i Atlas, the interstellar mystery that's getting weirder by the day, because what started as a routine discovery has become something far more unsettling. This object just turned green, and what's following behind it has NASA's best minds working around the clock. Take a deep breath, because what you're about to hear will change how you look at the night sky. July 1st, 2025. The Atlas telescope in Chile detected something moving against the background stars. At first, it looked like a comet, a fuzzy coma, a faint tail, dust drifting off into the void. But this intruder was different from the moment it appeared. It's moving through our solar system at over 245,000 kilometers per hour. That's 152,000 miles per hour. The fastest known visitor from interstellar space we've ever recorded. To put that in perspective, it would cross the distance between Earth and the Moon in less than 90 minutes. But speed isn't what has scientists whispering in observatories from Chile to Hawaii. It's what's following it. 9 smaller objects, glowing, moving in perfect formation behind Atlas like a convoy crossing the cosmic ocean, as if the main body were leading them, guiding them. And then, without warning, 3i Atlas changed color. The once reddish hue that astronomers first cataloged has now turned green, electric green, a color that shouldn't exist this far from the sun. When 3i Atlas first appeared, astronomers classified it quickly. Another interstellar visitor, the third confirmed object from beyond our solar system. We'd seen this before. In 2017, Oumuamua streaked through our cosmic neighborhood, cigar-shaped, tumbling, accelerating in ways that gravity alone couldn't explain. It sparked debates that still rage today. Then came 2I Borisov in 2019, a more conventional interstellar comet. It behaved predictably, outgassed normally, followed the rules we'd written in our textbooks. 3i Atlas should have been similar. Another data point, another cosmic traveler passing through. But it refused to follow the script. Within weeks of discovery, astronomers noticed something strange. Its brightness fluctuated in patterns that didn't match typical cometary behavior. Its trajectory, while hyperbolic and clearly interstellar, aligned almost perfectly with the ecliptic plane, the flat disk where our planets orbit. The statistical probability of that happening by random chance? Less than 0.2%. It's like throwing a dart from a mile away and hitting a single window in a skyscraper. Then the observations grew stranger still. September 2025, observatories across 3 continents confirmed what seemed impossible. 3i Atlas was changing color. The reddish hue, typical of objects covered in organic compounds bombarded by cosmic radiation for billions of years, was shifting, transforming into a brilliant green glow that intensified week by week. Dr. Sarah Chen at the European Southern Observatory was among the first to document the change. We ran the spectroscopy 3 times, each time the same result: diatomic carbon, C2, emissions. But the intensity, it's off the charts. Diatomic carbon creates green light when it fluoresces under ultraviolet radiation. It's common in comets close to the sun. But 3i Atlas was still beyond Mars orbit, too far for solar radiation to trigger this kind of response, too cold for the chemical reactions that produce this glow. Yet there it was, shining green against the black, growing brighter. And that wasn't the only impossibility. Spectroscopic analysis revealed something even more baffling. 3I Atlas was hemorrhaging water vapor into space. Not a trickle, not the gentle outgassing we see in typical comets. This was a torrent, a cosmic fire hose blasting billions of gallons of water into the void. The Hubble Space Telescope measured the outgassing rate at approximately 500 kilograms per second. That's over half a ton of water every single second. At that rate, 3I Atlas should have exhausted its volatile reserves months ago. It should be a dead, inert rock by now. But it keeps flowing, keeps bleeding water into space while remaining structurally intact. Dr. James Morrison, a planetary scientist at NASA's Goddard Space Flight Center, put it bluntly during a press briefing. We're looking at an object that's violating our understanding of cometary physics. The amount of water it's releasing at this distance from the sun, it simply shouldn't be possible. Other scientists began running calculations. If 3I Atlas formed in a molecular cloud billions of years ago, if it spent eons in the freezing depths between stars, could it have accumulated enough ice to sustain this kind of activity? The math didn't add up. Unless this object was far larger than optical observations suggested, unless most of its mass remained hidden beneath the surface, unless it was composed of something we'd never encountered before. But the water mystery paled in comparison to what came next. October 2025. The James Webb Space Telescope turned its infrared eyes toward 3I Atlas and revealed something that sent shockwaves through the astronomical community. 9 distinct objects trailing behind the main body, each one smaller than Atlas itself, each one glowing with the same eerie green luminescence. They weren't fragments. Spectroscopic analysis showed each object had a unique chemical signature. Different compositions, different masses. Yet they moved together, locked in formation, like geese flying in a V pattern across autumn skies. Dr. Rebecca Lawson at the Space Telescope Science Institute spent 3 sleepless nights analyzing the data. The spacing between these objects is too regular, she reported. There's a mathematical relationship. Each one is positioned at a distance that suggests coordination. Coordination. The word hung in the air like smoke. Natural orbital mechanics don't produce perfect formations. Gravitational interactions cause chaos, not order. Objects captured by a larger body tumble and drift. They don't maintain precise distances across millions of kilometers. Yet here they were, 9 objects following Atlas through the solar system like soldiers in formation. Some scientists suggested they could be smaller cometary fragments sharing a common origin. Perhaps they all broke off from a larger parent body billions of years ago and have traveled together ever since. But the precision bothered experts. The consistency troubled them. Because in nature, chaos is the rule. Order is the exception. As data accumulated, a larger picture began to emerge. Isotopic analysis of the light reflected from 3I Atlas revealed its true age. The ratios of certain elements, particularly deuterium to hydrogen, told a story written in atomic signatures. This object formed before our sun was born. Over 4.6 billion years ago, in a molecular cloud light years from here, ice and dust began to coalesce. While our solar system was still a dream waiting to happen, 3I Atlas was already ancient. It drifted through the galaxy for eons, witnessed the birth and death of countless stars, crossed vast interstellar gulfs where the distance between particles is measured in meters. And somehow, it survived. Dr. Martin Zhao, an astrochemist at Cambridge University, proposed a radical hypothesis. He asked during a virtual symposium, what if objects like 3I Atlas are the universe's delivery system? What if they carry the building blocks of life across the galaxy, seeding worlds with organic compounds, with water, with the ingredients for biology? The concept isn't new. Panspermia, the idea that life spreads through space via comets and asteroids, has been debated for over a century. But 3I Atlas makes the theory tangible, real. Spectroscopic analysis detected complex organic molecules in its coma. Amino acids, the chemical precursors to proteins, the foundations upon which life builds. If 3I Atlas has been wandering the galaxy for billions of years, how many star systems has it visited? How many worlds has it brushed past, leaving a molecular trail of possibility in its wake? And if it's carrying the seeds of life, what else might it carry? By late October, the astronomical community was deeply divided. NASA issued careful statements emphasizing natural explanations. Outgassing jets can appear green due to carbon compounds. Water can be preserved in primordial ice for billions of years. The trailing objects are likely fragments sharing a common trajectory. All true, all possible, but none of it explained the totality of what was being observed. At the European Space Agency's headquarters in Paris, a different conversation was taking place. Senior scientists debated whether 3I Atlas warranted a dedicated mission. Could we launch a probe fast enough to catch it before it leaves the solar system? The answer was sobering. Even with our fastest rockets, we couldn't reach 3I Atlas before it swings around the sun and accelerates back into interstellar space. We would be observers only, watching from a distance as this cosmic mystery performs its flyby and vanishes forever. Dr. Alina Volkov, a Russian astrophysicist known for her work on interstellar objects, raised a question that others were thinking but hesitant to voice. She asked during a closed-door meeting, what if the formation we're seeing isn't gravitational? What if it's intentional? Intentional. The word sparked immediate backlash. We can't jump to extraordinary conclusions without extraordinary evidence, countered colleagues. But Volkov persisted. I'm not saying it's artificial intelligence or alien spacecraft. I'm saying we should consider all possibilities. Natural formation flight mechanisms we haven't discovered. Electromagnetic interactions we don't fully understand. Our knowledge isn't complete. She was right, of course. Throughout history, phenomena that seemed impossible later revealed new physics. Pulsars were once mistaken for alien beacons. Fast radio bursts defied explanation until we understood their neutron star origins. Perhaps I-Atlas was teaching us something new about how objects behave in interstellar space. Perhaps we were witnessing physics we'd never observed before. Or perhaps we were seeing something else entirely. As November approached, more data revealed more mysteries. The trajectory of 3I-ATLS wasn't just aligned with the ecliptic plane. Its path would bring it within 0.39 astronomical units of the Sun, closer than Mercury's orbit. For an object moving at such tremendous speed, arriving from interstellar space at just the right angle to achieve this perihelion passage, the odds were astronomical. Dr. Chen ran the simulations 100 times, each time the same unsettling result. If you wanted to design a trajectory that would allow maximum solar system observation while maintaining interstellar velocity, she explained, this would be it. The closest approach to the Sun would occur in mid-November 2025. For several days, 3I-ATLS would be lost in solar glare. No telescope on Earth could observe it. When it emerged on the other side, it would be accelerating, racing back toward the interstellar medium at even greater speed than it arrived. And those 9 trailing objects, they would follow, maintaining formation, keeping their mathematical spacing intact. The green glow intensified as Atlas approached the Sun. Whatever process was creating the diatomic carbon emissions was reaching a crescendo. Some researchers suggested the increasing solar radiation was triggering chemical reactions deep within the object's core. Subsurface ice was sublimating, carrying carbon compounds to the surface where ultraviolet light made it fluoresce. Plausible, scientific, rational. But it didn't explain why this process was so much more efficient than anything we'd seen before. Why 3I ATLS glowed so much brighter than comets 10 times closer to the Sun. Telescopes around the world prepared for 3I ATLS's closest approach. The Hubble Space Telescope cleared its schedule. James Webb allocated precious observation time. Ground-based observatories from Chile to Hawaii coordinated their viewing windows. Because whatever happened during perihelion passage would answer crucial questions. Would the object fragment under solar stress? Would the water outgassing increase or finally cease? Would the 9 trailing companions maintain formation or scatter? And most critically, would we detect anything that couldn't be explained by natural processes? The scientific teams prepared their instruments with meticulous care. Every spectral line would be analyzed, every photometric measurement recorded, every trajectory calculation refined to the highest precision. But beneath the professional demeanor, beneath the careful scientific language, there was something else: anticipation, wonder, a sense that humanity stood on the edge of a revelation. What if 3I ATLS is trying to tell us something? Not through radio signals or mathematical proofs, not through the kind of communication we've spent decades searching for with SETI telescopes, but through its existence itself, through its impossible preservation of water, through its green glow and its ancient origins, through the 9 companions following in its wake. What if it's trying to tell us something, in chemistry and physics? A cosmic bottle cast into the galactic ocean billions of years ago, carrying information encoded in isotopes and molecules. Dr. Morrison addressed this question during a public lecture at MIT. He said, "Whether 3I ATLS is natural or something else, it's teaching us about the universe. It's showing us that interstellar space is not empty and dead. It's full of travelers. Ancient wanderers carrying the history of the galaxy within their frozen cores." He paused, choosing his next words with deliberate caution. And if we're seeing 3 interstellar objects in less than a decade, how many more are out there? How many pass through our solar system undetected each year? Are we living in a crossroads, a cosmic highway where travelers from distant stars drift past us constantly? The implications stretched far beyond 3I ATLS itself. If interstellar objects are common, then the exchange of material between star systems is constant. Organic compounds, water, perhaps even microbial life, frozen in ice, waiting for a warm world to awaken it. The universe might be more connected than we ever imagined. Not through wormholes or faster-than-light travel, but through these ancient wanderers, drifting between stars for millions of years, carrying cargo we're only beginning to understand. November 15th, 2025. 3I ATLS disappeared behind the sun's glare. For 3 days, we were blind, unable to observe, unable to track. The object that had captivated the world's attention vanished into solar brilliance. Scientists waited, checked their calculations, prepared their instruments for the moment of reemergence, and wondered what they would see. Would Atlas emerge changed? Would the intense solar radiation transform it further? Would the green glow fade or intensify? Would the 9 trailing companions still be there, maintaining their impossible formation? We stand at a threshold in human history. For centuries, we've wondered if we're alone. We've pointed radio telescopes at distant stars, listening for signals that never come. We've analyzed thousands of exoplanets, searching for signs of life. But perhaps we've been looking in the wrong places. Perhaps the evidence we seek isn't in radio signals or atmospheric biosignatures. Perhaps it's in these ancient travelers, these messengers from the deep beyond, these objects that carry within them the chemical memory of the galaxy's history. 3i ATLS won't answer all our questions, it might not answer any, but it will force us to ask better ones. It will remind us that the universe is stranger, more mysterious, more wonderful than our theories can capture. That there are phenomena we haven't classified, physics we haven't discovered, wonders we haven't imagined. When Atlas reemerges from behind the sun, telescopes worldwide will lock on. Every major observatory will be watching. Every space agency will be recording data. Not because they expect to find aliens, not because they believe this is anything other than a natural object following the laws of physics, but because we've learned something profound over the past few months. We've learned that we don't know everything, that the universe still holds secrets, that an object from beyond our solar system can challenge our understanding and force us to revise our theories. We've learned humility. And perhaps that's the real message of 3i ATLS. Not encoded in radio waves or mathematical sequences, but written in green light and water vapor and impossible formations. A messenger that reminds us that we're citizens of a galaxy filled with wonders, that our tiny corner of space is visited by travelers from unimaginable distances, that the universe is alive with motion and mystery. Soon, 3i ATLS will complete its passage through our solar system. It will accelerate back toward interstellar space, returning to the dark gulfs between stars. The 9 companions will follow, maintaining their formation, keeping their secrets. And we'll be left with our data, our observations, our questions. We'll debate what we saw for years, decades. Some will insist it was entirely natural, a comet behaving within the bounds of known physics just barely. Others will wonder if we missed something, if we failed to ask the right questions while we had the chance. But everyone will agree on one thing. 3i ATLS changed us. It expanded our understanding. It showed us that the universe is more complex, more strange, more wonderful than we give it credit. And somewhere out there, beyond the orbit of Neptune, beyond the heliopause, beyond the Oort cloud, there are more travelers, more ancient wanderers, more objects carrying the history of stars that died before Earth was born. They're coming. Eventually, we'll see them. And when we do, we'll remember 3i ATLS, the object that glowed green, the messenger that brought 9 companions, the ancient traveler that came from the darkness and showed us how much we still have to discover. The cosmos is calling. 3i ATLS is just the beginning.